why when Carly Fiorina was asked, what question should we ask Trump? She said, ask him what principles he intends to govern by. And she's a smart cookie. She knows exactly what his weakness is. He doesn't have any principles to guide him, to refer him. And that is the main problem with Trump. Now, Trump's motto is, make America great again. And that's a great objective, a great goal. But you can't do it unless you have identified the proper principles. And the proper principles that he had to identify in order to make America great again are the same principles that made America great in the first place, which are what? Limited government, a government dedicated to the protection of the individual rights of the citizens and no other functions, not policemen of the world, not the great benefactor of this country or that group or the other group. And this is why our politics are so bad, because we have strayed from that principle. And essentially, the politicians do not respect the judgment of the citizens and are quite willing to violate their rights. When they redistribute wealth, they're violating your right to decide how to use your own wealth, what to spend it on. They say, no, we know how to spend it better than you. When they put you in jail for a victimless crime, they say you shouldn't be a prostitute or you shouldn't use drugs. Essentially, they are not respecting your judgment. And freedom consists of having your judgment respected. In other words, you have to be free to do what you think is in your self-interest, what you think is best for you, as long as you don't violate the rights of other people. And the government, the kind we have now, welfare state, and progressing into democratic socialism if Bernie Sanders is elected, is exactly the opposite. It is becoming a bigger government, more intrusive. The bigger the government, the less freedom for the people. So if we want to do what Trump says, make America great again, we have to use the same formula that made America great from the beginning. And it'll work fine if we do that. Instead, what we have is an advanced auction where Trump is saying, well, I really care about women, so I'm going to really help the women. And so you can count on me, women. When I get in power, I'm going to give you plenty of goodies. He does the same thing for the veterans. He'll promise the people that hate the immigrants that we're going to kick them all out. He's making enough promises so he thinks he can win the auction, so he can get enough votes. And this is the Democratic candidate's strategy. And that's why he was a Democrat before, because essentially they view politics as, let me make sufficient offers to sufficient groups to create a coalition to get the majority. Once I have the power, I will redistribute here and there as I feel fit. And that's what's happened in our politics. It's degenerated into a popular democracy where the government is getting involved in everything. And so essentially what we need to do is go back to the original formula. Now, in another part, I will explain why Trump is demagoguing the trade issue. Essentially, I will explain why trade is good, the things that he doesn't understand, why it's good, comparative advantage, why international trade is good, how it works, and how to measure how good it is, and what principles to use. And I'll do the same thing for immigration if you're interested, but I haven't done anything on trade yet, and it's a much neglected subject, so I'll do that. Anyway, I expect your comments, and let me know if you want any further analysis on Trump. Thank you.